What truly stands between you and the life you desire? Is it a lack of talent, resources, or opportunity? While these factors can play a role, the most formidable obstacle is often something far more insidious: the fear of failure. This fear, deeply ingrained in our psyche, can paralyze us, preventing us from pursuing our dreams and reaching our full potential. It whispers doubts, amplifies uncertainties, and ultimately keeps us trapped in our comfort zones, far from the extraordinary lives we yearn to lead. The fear of failure is not merely about the possibility of not succeeding, it's about the perceived implications of that failure. It's the nagging voice that tells us we're not good enough, the fear of judgment from others, and the sense of finality that failure represents. It's a fear that transcends logic, often stemming from deep-seated beliefs and past experiences that have shaped our perception of ourselves and our abilities. This fear is a universal human experience, a shared vulnerability that affects people from all walks of life, regardless of their background, achievements, or aspirations. It can manifest in subtle ways such as procrastination or self-sabotage, or it can take a more overt form, leading to complete avoidance of any situation that carries the risk of failure. The good news is that the fear of failure is not a life sentence. It's a learned response, and like any learned behavior, it can be unlearned. By understanding the roots of this fear, challenging the negative beliefs it perpetuates, and adopting practical strategies to manage and overcome it, we can break free from its grip and unlock our true potential. To effectively combat the fear of failure, we must first understand its origins. This fear is often deeply ingrained in our psyche, stemming from a complex interplay of early childhood experiences, societal conditioning, and personal beliefs. For many, the fear of failure can be traced back to critical parents or educators whose love and approval seemed contingent upon achievement. These early experiences can create a lasting association between failure and a sense of worthlessness, leading individuals to develop a fear of failure as a means of avoiding these negative feelings. Similarly, perfectionism, often driven by a desire for external validation, can fuel the fear of failure by setting unrealistic standards that are impossible to meet consistently. The pervasive nature of competition in our society further exacerbates this fear. From a young age, we're taught to compare ourselves to others, striving to outperform and outshine our peers. This constant pressure to succeed can create a deep-seated fear of not measuring up, of being perceived as inadequate or inferior. Understanding the origins of our fear of failure is not about assigning blame or dwelling on the past. Instead, it's about cultivating self-compassion and recognizing that these fears, while real, are often based on distorted perceptions and outdated beliefs. By acknowledging the role that these past experiences and societal pressures have played in shaping our relationship with failure, we can begin to challenge and reframe our beliefs, paving the way for a healthier and more empowering perspective. Fear, particularly the fear of failure, has a knack for whispering insidious lies that keep us trapped in our comfort zones. These lies masquerade as truths, their voices so convincing that we often accept them without question, allowing them to dictate our choices and limit our potential. One of the most pervasive lies is that failure is a reflection of our inherent worth. We internalize the message that if we fail, we are failures, equating our actions with our identity. This lie feeds into our insecurities, making us doubt our abilities and undermining our self-belief. The truth is, failure is an event, not a person. It's a stepping stone, a learning opportunity, not a defining characteristic. Another lie fear perpetuates is the notion that other people's judgments hold significant weight in our lives. We become overly concerned with what others will think, allowing their perceived opinions to dictate our choices and hold us back from pursuing our dreams. This fear of judgment can be paralyzing, preventing us from taking risks and putting ourselves out there. The reality is, people are often far too preoccupied with their own lives and insecurities to spend much time dwelling on our perceived failures. Even if they do notice, their opinions are merely a reflection of their own perspectives and experiences, not an objective assessment of our worth. Perhaps the most damaging lie fear tells us is that failure is final. We perceive it as an insurmountable roadblock, an endpoint rather than a bend in the road. This belief can lead to a sense of hopelessness, making it difficult to pick ourselves up and try again. However, the truth is that failure is rarely, if ever, final. It's an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow, to refine our approach and emerge stronger and more resilient. To truly overcome the fear of failure, we must shift our perspective and embrace imperfection as an integral part of the human experience. Instead of viewing failure as something to be avoided at all costs, we can choose to see it as a stepping stone, a valuable opportunity for growth and learning. Think of a time when you learned a new skill, whether it was riding a bike, playing an instrument, or mastering a new language. The journey likely involved its fair share of stumbles, missteps, and moments of frustration. Yet each of these failures was essential to your progress, providing valuable feedback that allowed you to refine your technique and eventually achieve mastery. The same principle applies to all aspects of life. Every successful entrepreneur, artist, athlete, or innovator has encountered countless setbacks and failures along their journey. It's these experiences, often more than their successes, that have shaped their character, fueled their determination, and ultimately paved the way for their triumphs. Normalizing failure requires us to challenge the societal narrative that equates success with a straight and narrow path, devoid of obstacles. It's about recognizing that setbacks are inevitable, and that it's not about avoiding failure altogether, but rather about how we choose to respond to it.